right, NBA free agency tracker here on day 5 of NBA free agency. Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. with you, and it's actually been a pretty busy Friday. Friday news dump with Kawhi Leonard. We'll talk about that later on, break down that deal. But before we get into all the moves that have happened, let's explore Damian Lillard. He reportedly, Chase, is unhappy.
Yeah, not happy right now, and we all saw this coming. Now, True Hoop did report several weeks ago that Damian Lillard was going to request a trade in the, quote, days to come, and that request never officially came. But if I'm Damian Lillard, I'm very frustrated, and it looks as though Damian Lillard is frustrated with what the Trailblazers have done in NBA free agency, or the lack thereof. That, according to the most recent reports, as we catch you up to date with everything going on with Dame. What did the Blazers do in free agency? They signed Norman Powell to a 5-year, $90 million contract. They also signed Cody Zeller. Tony Snell comes over to Portland from the Atlanta Hawks. None of those moves really move the needle. That's why Damian Lillard is frustrated, and that's what he said from Tokyo, letting his displeasure be known, Harrison.
When you go into free agency and things like this, you never know what happens. You never know where guys are going to end up and why they go there. You just have to have conversations and convince guys to be a part of our team. Obviously, this go around, we weren't able to go out there and just get some of the guys that we would have liked. And you go down the list and you go through the guys that are out there that you like who haven't committed to a team or was a part of your plans in free agency, and you get the ones that want to be a part of what you're doing, and I think that's what we did. Hey, Cody Zeller, he just wants to be a part of Portland, Chase. You know what I mean? Norm Powell has 90 million reasons to re-sign with Portland, but at the end of the day, they just did not get it done.
What's going on with Damian Lillard right now is so reminiscent of what's going on in the National Football League with Russell Wilson as well as Aaron Rodgers. What's the theme with those two guys? Star quarterbacks, face of the franchise, just like Damian Lillard is the face of the Portland Trailblazers franchise. Wilson, Rodgers voice their discontent and their frustration with their respective organizations, supporting them with a surrounding cast that helps them go to that championship level. Damian Lillard got drafted by the Blazers in 2012. They've been to the Western Conference Finals one time, and they were swept by Golden State just a couple years ago before Golden State lost that NBA Finals to Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors. Damian Lillard isn't happy because this guy has put together a spectacular career. He's an all-world player, a generational type of player. We've really never seen a player like Damian Lillard, one of the best scorers at the two-guard spot, maybe even the point guard spot that we have ever seen. But they've not had playoff success.
No.
And there are two things missing from Dame's resume that really puts him in a totally different category. That's MVP, which I wouldn't really care about, if I'm Damian Lillard, but it's the playoff success and an NBA title. And there are so many teams out there that if Dame went to those other squads via a trade, and if he demanded that, Harrison, that I think would put them in championship contention.
So this is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. Will Damian Lillard open the season with the Portland Trailblazers? Type Y for yes, type in for no. After the YouTube ad break hits, we will go through the NBA free agency tracker. All right, let's sprint through this, Chase. This is all the way going back to Monday to where we are here on a Friday. Lonzo Ball, Will Barton, Tim Hardaway, Mike Conley. What stands out on those initial moves?
Lonzo, I really like it. He didn't play enough point guard last year with the Pelicans because Zion was playing point guard. I think Lonzo in his natural position lends itself well for Chicago. Just worry about their defense.
Boban back to the Mavs. Garrett Temple to the Pelicans. Jimmy Butler gets a 4-year, $184 million max. JaMychal Green back to the Denver Nuggets. We saw the Knicks get involved early and often. They bring back Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel. Jared Allen, 5 years, $100 million. Kelly Olynyk gets 3 years and $37. And then Trae Young also gets the max, Chase, as well as Kyle Lowry getting moved to Miami.
And it's only a matter of time before Luka Doncic signs his rookie max contract extension as well. Mark Cuban, Michael Finley, Nico Harrison, Jason Kidd, all set to fly to Slovenia next week to offer Luka that max.
Duncan Robinson back to the Heat, 5 years, $90 million. We saw Doug McDermott get the bag. Chris Paul back to Phoenix, 4 years and $120 million as well. I love the Jeff Green signing to the Denver Nuggets. You saw Reggie Bullock and Sterling Brown land with Dallas as well. David Nwaba to Houston on 3 years and $15 million. Bobby Portis back to Milwaukee, Chase. Nice little under-the-radar move.
Back-to-back years in which Bobby Portis probably could have made better money elsewhere, but he goes to Milwaukee. When you got a ring,
built different,
kind of changes your mind, and He is built different for sure.
Gary Trent Jr., 3 years and $54 million. A lot of more moves to break down. Name a free agent you want your team to sign. There's still some guys out there. There's still some names that you could acquire in free agency. Who do you want your team? Yeah, Dennis Schroeder. We'll see where he ends up. Lauri Markkanen. Let us know where you want your favorite team, who you want them to sign. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Zach Collins to the Spurs. Mike Muscala to the Thunder. Alex Len to Sacramento. Trevor Ariza kind of kicked off things for the Lakers. That also got Wayne Ellington and Dwight Howard, Chase.
I mean, the Lakers, the consistent theme here is we know LeBron James is 36 years old. We understand the time to win a championship is probably this upcoming season, and all of their moves have been basically predicated around that. Lakers, yes, they're oldest team in the history of the NBA. They're going to be able to compete this upcoming season. That's all that matters.
Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose. I like both those moves for the Knicks. They really have a deep team now. Nick Batum back to the Clippers. I like that re-signing quite a bit.
Yeah, good value.
Alex Caruso to the Bulls. They've been busy. Love the JaVale McGee, 1 year and $5 million.
Such a good backup option for DeAndre Ayton. That allows Frank Kaminsky to go to his more natural position of a stretch 4. You're without Dario Saric. How to get a backup center, JaVale McGee will be that guy.
Corey Joseph, Trey Lyles, a couple of Detroit signings. Daniel Tice to Houston. Cody Zeller, basically the only player that the Blazers have signed other than bringing back Norman Powell. Who is the best free agent left, not named Kawhi? Because Kawhi's been signed. So who is it? Who is the best free agent left on the open market? I think it's either Dennis Schroeder or Lauri Markkanen.
I'd say Dennis Schroeder.
So let us know. How do you guys feel? Best free agent left out there. Nets bring back Blake Griffin. Kent Bazemore, another depth piece for the Lakers. Dwayne Dedmon, Max Strus, some kind of into-the-roster guys for the Miami Heat. I really like this Richaun Holmes move for Sacramento. I usually don't agree with anything they do, but this was a good one.
Look, taking Marvin Bagley over Luka Doncic and Trae Young, not good. But
sorry,
now you have a young core. Divac, total joke. You have a young core, though. De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Davion Mitchell, and Richaun Holmes still young, right? And he's a good big man. That was their biggest need going into free agency.
He's a Clint Capella starter kid. I mean, literally.
He really is, yeah.
SGA, he gets the max with OKC. Good for him. As well. Otto Porter Jr., he gets the minimum with Golden State, took less money to go there. Sam Decker coming from overseas, and then a nice little value signing here, Chase, Rudy Gay to the Utah Jazz.
You're paying Rudy Gay, who can still get buckets, for a playoff team, number 1 seed in the West last year.
Give you 18 minutes off the bench.
A little more than $6 million per season. I'm all in on that.
Let's do it. Nemanja Bjelica to Golden State. Rodney Hood to the Bucks. Can he stay healthy? A lot of injuries for him. We'll see. Bruce Brown, James Johnson to the Nets. Andre Drummond to Philadelphia. His weird career continues. We'll see how he fits there. Taj Gibson to the Knicks. Robin Lopez to Orlando. Abdel Nader to Phoenix. I love this Patty Mills signing for the Brooklyn Nets.
I like Patty Mills a lot. This is a guy who has an NBA ring. He's had a lot of success internationally with Team Australia, like this year in the Olympics, as well as in the NBA ranks. And he can play on ball, off ball, never scared. 2 years, 12, $6 million per. I love it.
Steph Curry, 4-year max extension. Carmelo to the Lakers on a 1-year deal. Malik Monk, Taylor Horton Tucker also head to L.A. DeMar DeRozan in a sign-and trade to Chicago. And then Tony Snell to Portland. That's just not going to move the needle for Damian Lillard. Kendrick Nunn to the Lakers as well. And then Markieff Morris, Chase. It doesn't sound like a lot,
but it's a sneaky good signing.
He's like your 10th or 11th guy on your roster.
It's a sneaky good signing.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's a sneaky good signing for Miami, and they are so deep. So deep now, I should say. And if Victor Oladipo can be somewhat healthy, like you have him at a minimum price as well. Fantastic. Miami, Pat Riley, killing the game.
George Hill to Milwaukee. Subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. Hey, we're 5 days in. We're buzzing here, but we're bringing you the latest NBA news, rumors, free agency tracker. We're updating it all because we're not stiffs who have half days on Fridays. We keep it real here at Chat Sports. So subscribe if you love the NBA, if you love the NFL. NFL season really about to ramp up as well. Hit that big red button. Some more deals here. George Niang to the Sixers. You got Hassan Whiteside to the Jazz. Kiefer Sykes to Indiana. John Collins gets the bag for the Hawks as they try to replicate what they did a year ago.
Look, I thought John Collins could have been in the market for the max. Now, for him, he wins because he continues to play alongside Trae Young in a very good supporting cast. Love what Nate McMillan did. But for the Hawks, to get him at that price tag,
sign me up.
They're a winner for that.
I like Kemba Walker with the Knicks. I hope he can stay healthy. He loves Madison Square Garden. Born and raised
Bronx
in
native,
the
baby.
Bronx. Tony Bradley, Enes Kanter to the Bulls and the Celtics. Victor Oladipo, you mentioned him to the Heat. I mean, if he's healthy, 75% of himself for the vet minimum, that's a steal.
Yeah, and moving on in that list, I like Spencer Dinwiddie at 3 years, $62 million, though, coming off a partially torn ACL. He got what I thought maybe Reggie Jackson, maybe even Dennis Schroeder got. So that's a steep price tag.
Raul Neto to the Washington Wizards, returning there. Danny Green back to Philadelphia. Julius Randle, so the Knicks not fazed by his poor playoff series. He gets that 4-year max. We haven't really talked about this one together, Chase. What do you think on this?
I love Julius Randle. I have mad respect for guys who add to their arsenal, who become better players over time, because I know what that takes. And it takes a lot of hard work, and you're sweating a lot in the gym just going into the lab. And Julius Randle is the byproduct of being in the lab. He was getting MVP conversation last year and MVP buzz. At the end of the year, it was worthy.
Frank Kaminsky back to Phoenix. Lou Williams, Lemon Pepper Lou, he's going to be spending a lot of time at Magic City. You can book that.
No doubt.
Kelly Oubre Jr., as we get closer into day 5 here, 2 years, $26 million with the Charlotte Hornets. Chase, I like this little nucleus Charlotte has moving forward.
You've got LaMelo Ball. You just drafted James Bouknight, who probably takes over for Devontae Graham. You still have Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges. Now you got Kelly Oubre in the equation as well. Charlotte was a surprise team last year and a good story. That will continue into next year.
I think they might be that 8 seed in the East.
I think they could be,
Do not be surprised if that
They're in the
happens.
play-in tournament.
Andre Iguodala back to the Bay. He says he will retire there. We'll see if it's his last season, but he is year to year at this point. Reggie Jackson, 2 years, $22 million. I know you're a big fan of this one. Back to the Clippers.
Love Reggie Jackson at $11 million per season, especially when you look at the market and you see that Spencer Dinwiddie is getting $20+ million per. Kelly Oubre is getting $13 million annually, and you're getting Reggie Jackson, who I'd rather take over both of those guys for 2 years, $11 million a pop.
Great.
That's good stuff by the Clippers, especially getting Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, and Kawhi is obviously back. We'll see what those details end up being. Justice Winslow, I should say Kellen Winslow. He's in prison.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant.
He's a fraud.
He's more than a fraud. He's just a loser. Kevin Durant, 4 years, $200 million extension with the Brooklyn Nets. It's been a busy week. It's been fun, and we've been breaking it all down here on Chat Sports. Grade your favorite teams, NBA free agency up to this point. A, B, C, D, F. Get your grades in right now.